What do you expect when you express yourself? One of our community members had this to say: when I express myself, I expect others to listen to and understand it. When things happen the opposite, I feel betrayed and cheated. It keeps me from trusting and relating to others again. What do you expect when you share vulnerably and when you don't get it? When I tune into this, what I'd like to do is invite you to feel what vulnerability feels like in your body, especially when you've been vulnerable and perhaps needed connection, reassurance, understanding, presence of another human being about something that's important to you and you didn't get it. What happens? What happens in your throat? What happens in your heart? Your head? As you tune into the lower part of your body, do you feel like staying or do you feel like leaving? Do you feel like being angry or is there a freeze? In a very simple way, how others receive our vulnerability when we share something has a lot to do with how safe we feel. And you can see that in this, that if a person doesn't get the safety that they wanted, the understanding and presence, then they feel betrayed and cheated. Betrayed and cheated aren't the only options, but when our expectation for that understanding and presence isn't met, chances are we're going to feel something that's probably not going to feel so good. So let's tap on it. Even though I expected them to listen to me, I expected them to be present with what's important to me. And I really expected to feel understood. I really expected to be understood. And it's really hard on me when I'm not. I accept who I am, and I have these vulnerable feelings. Even though I expected them to listen and really get it, to understand me, and to show me that. That's not always been my experience. And I still feel some of that in my body. Top of the head. I was really vulnerable. Eyebrow. I needed their presence. Side of the eye. I needed them to listen to me. Under the eye. I needed them to understand. Under the nose. I expected that. Chin. I really expected understanding. Collarbone. That is not what I got. Under the arm. That is so not what I got. Top of the head. I feel betrayed and cheated. And I accept that's where I am and how I feel. Take a deep breath. Maybe shake your hands out. So sometimes it's helpful to flip this around a little bit. Imagine someone is in a certain place and what they really need is for you to listen and to understand. And you care about the person, or you don't. but there's some relationship. There's a fellow human being. You may be very, very close to them. You might even live in the same home with them. You might even be their offspring, or they yours. They need you to listen and to understand. That's the requirement. To listen and understand. What tension do you feel in your body? Do you feel open? They expect you to. And if you don't listen and you don't understand, that they're going to feel betrayed and cheated. What happens in your body? Do you feel open? Even though I can understand their expectation, I don't know how I feel about this. It feels like there's pressure. I accept that I have these feelings. Even though they expect me to understand, and I'm not sure I do. And a part of me feels like arguing. I acknowledge that there are expectations here on all sides. Top of the head. Do I really feel like listening right now? Eyebrow. Am I capable of understanding where they're coming from right now, right here? Side of the eye. I feel their expectation under the eye, and that feels heavy to me. Under the nose. I want to come through for them. Chin. And I feel the expectation. Collarbone. It feels really heavy. Feels like pressure under the arm. I don't want them to feel betrayed and cheated. Top of the head. And I don't know that I agree to their expectation. Now go back to you sharing vulnerably. You want to share something. You want to be listened to and understood. Does it still feel the same to you? You may want to stop here and go back and do some more tapping, just like we did. If one part of that was more effective for you, then use that. But here's something I want to offer as a possibility. When we think about expectations, they do have a pressure to them, especially in relationships, whether with someone else or the relationship with ourselves. An agreement has a different quality to it. If I came to you and I said, I expect you to listen to me and understand what I'm saying, what happens if at the end that's not what we have? We don't have understanding. If you came to me and you said, I expect you to listen to me and understand, I would say, wait, how about we look at this? What might we agree to? I'm tapping because this is tender, and it might be tender for you to hear this. It's tender for me to live with this. Reality is that humans have frames of reference, and sometimes they are not the same. Our lived experience is not the same. Sometimes we have trauma that would keep us from understanding each other until that trauma is healed. That's one of the reasons I do this work. But what if there is caring? There's a desire to have safety and respect. The agreement might be, I agree to do my best to be present with what you're sharing. If what you're saying is triggering to me through no fault of your own, it's just the topic that you're bringing up is triggering to me, and I need to take care of myself, quiet myself, re-regulate myself. I'll raise my hand, and we agree that we'll pause and look at this again. And I'll do my best to reflect back to you what I understand of what you're saying. And I would invite us to wonder whether we'll be able to reach some mutual understanding of each other. And we'll start with you. If I can understand you and you nod and agree that, I feel understood, then we'll reciprocate with each other. If it's important for me also to be understood from my lived experience, how does that feel to you? Is that something that you want to agree to? What I can't accept is your expectation that I be able to listen when I'm not necessarily ready or to anything, even though it's important to you. I'd like to, but I don't know if my nervous system and my body can handle it. I just don't know yet. Now, that was from the heart. It's based upon some dialogues that I've had with friends and co creators. And I offer it to you as a potential way to shift from expectations leading to feelings of being betrayed and cheated to agreements that set the stage for a yes, yes. It honors the humanness that is behind a lot of the reasons why people reject our truth, what's real to us, our vulnerability. They just don't perceive or feel or experience it, or they're triggered. This is a reality. As much as I wish that was not a reality, that we could just blame and be done with it, or feel betrayed and cheated and be done with it, that to me means that we're not accepting the truth that people are deeply stressed a lot of the time. Your fellow humans, and probably you, have been traumatized, and we have all a deep craving for presence that is safe and respectful and to be understood. It's my hope that this feels and is understandable. If it's not, and you'd like to share your truth, I'm open to that if you can do it in a way that is, if possible, with some kindness and compassion for yourself and your feelings, as well as the community. The comment section is open. Please feel free to do that. Or if it's more private, I'm at rick@thrivingnow.com. Thank you.